What was the strangest rule your parents had about bedtime? Mine believed a family that ate apart became strangers, so every meal of my life, all 6 of us, happened at one table, at the same time. No exceptions, no excuses. When I started seeing Priya, my father told me I had to bring her to dinner so she could be entered into the family record. There were no locks anywhere in our house, not on bedrooms, not on the bathroom. Locks are little betrayals, he'd say whenever someone visited, and I'd nod because it made sense to me. We had assigned seats by age, parents at the head and foot, children filling in between. Before anyone could lift a fork, he'd go around the table and quiz us. What did your sister do today? What's troubling your brother right now? If you can't answer, you weren't paying attention, and a family that doesn't pay attention dissolves. I got good at it. I could recite everyone's day with my eyes shut. Meals stretched 2, sometimes 3 hours. You did not leave until he decided the connection was complete. When my brother Anil tried to skip a dinner to study for finals, my father said grades meant nothing next to the family, and Anil failed the exam. When my sister Lena came down with a fever and threw up at the table, my father made her apologize for disrupting the unity, and she did, shaking, whispering sorry for being sick. Nobody at school understood why I could never come over after class, why I turned down every birthday party. Eating at another family's table teaches your body a foreign rhythm and makes you forget your own blood, he explained. That made sense to me too, because I'd never heard anything else. I was always tired and always hungry in a strange way, full of food but starved of something I couldn't name. When I was 15, I started keeping crackers in my school bag and eating them alone in a stairwell at lunch, just to chew something without being watched, without being quizzed. He found the crumbs after 2 weeks. He didn't yell. He just started packing my lunch himself and calling the school office to confirm I ate it in the counselor's room while someone watched. If you won't connect willingly, I'll arrange supervision. I lay in bed that night thinking it was reasonable. He was just keeping us close. That's what good fathers did. Priya was the first person I ever kissed. We saw each other quietly for months. Notes, hand-holding, stolen minutes, until my father learned I was eating elsewhere and demanded the dinner. I was nervous but glad. She'd finally see how loving we were and understand why I was the way I was. I didn't warn her about anything because I genuinely didn't think there was anything to warn her about. I walked her in and watched her notice the bathroom with no door. We don't have doors. Doors are betrayals. She laughed, unsure, but I wasn't joking. I showed her the table set for 7 now, the binder where my father logged what each of us contributed to the family each day. The chair he'd assigned her on the outer edge, since she's new. He'll go around and ask about everyone before we eat, I told her cheerfully. Try to remember details about my siblings, and around the 2nd hour he does a feelings check. He'll ask what mood everyone's in. It's how he knows we're really bonded. Priya had stopped smiling. We sat. My father beamed and welcomed her, then began the quiz. She answered haltingly. When she reached for a glass of water before he'd opened the meal, he gently corrected her, and I saw her flinch the way Lena used to. 20 minutes in, she said she needed the bathroom. No door, I called brightly. So come right back. She was gone a long time. When the knock came, I didn't understand. An officer stood there looking past my father at the doorless rooms, the binder, the seating chart. We received a welfare concern. That's absurd, I told them. We're the closest family you'll ever meet. The officer looked at me with an expression I wouldn't recognize for years. It was pity. Priya's mom told me later that her daughter had called her from the corner of the street, crying so hard she could barely get the words out, that she kept saying we weren't allowed to be alone, weren't allowed to leave the table, that I'd said all of it like it was normal. Because to me, it was. It took me a long time and a lot of help to understand what I'd actually grown up inside. That closeness held by force isn't closeness. That a father can use the word family as a leash. I have my own apartment now, with a door that locks. I eat when I'm hungry, alone sometimes, and no one quizzes me on anyone's mood. Priya and I lost touch, but I think about her often. The first person who walked into my normal and was brave enough to call it what it was. I owe the rest of my life to the dinner she refused to finish.